This is Triple Play Fantasy Basketball. Topic at hand, who's the best power forward in the NBA? We're going to give you the top 10 names and declare a king, so to speak. I'm Coach James Lewis. You see me on the top 10s. We did centers, point guards, shooting guards, small forwards. Say the best for last. I got an 11 because I got to add a person or two. I think that you could clump a lot of these guys in the same category. Tobias Harris, good overall basketball player, doesn't crack a top 10. John Collins, Jeremy Grant, Christian Wood. I think Paolo Banchero might crack this top 10 when it's all said and done by the end of this season. But at 10, Jaren Jackson Jr. of the Grizzlies, one of our best defenders in the entire league. He was all defensive team. He's been on the all-rookie team. He led the league in blocks last year at 2.3. He gave you a steal. Where you want to see him improve defensively is stop getting in foul trouble so early, stop fouling so you can stay on the court. And his durability makes you scratch your head as he went through another surgery this offseason and will miss quite a bit of time in this 2022-23 season. Now, these are the best power forwards today. He needs to improve his shooting percentages and finishing around the rim. At 9, he heard the boos last year. Julius Randle, he's still, the year before, he was an all-NBA performer. He was the most improved player. He was only 27. And, yeah, he shot 41% last year, but the year before he shot 41 from 3 and just kind of made everything. I see those percentages improving, especially the way he heard it. And 5 assists. I mean, they gave him the ball. His usage rate is probably going to go down a little bit with Jalen Brunson, but I think it's going to make him a better player. And he's going to hopefully take some better shots. But Julius Randle's been 20 and 10 last 3 years. Let's not disgrace his name like he's a bad basketball player, because he's not. Now, normally you don't see someone in the top 10 averaging less than 10 points a game, but Draymond Green does so many things to affect the game of winning basketball, as we saw the Warriors come back and win another championship. That's 4 on his resume. He's won a Defensive Player of the Year. He was going to be the Defensive Player of the Year last year if he didn't get hurt. He's been on the all-defensive team 7 times. He's been all-NBA twice. He's led the league in steals once upon a time and gives you more than one steal, one block a game. He dimes. He kind of plays that point center role. His fake pass and give. He helps Steph Curry open everything up. I mean, he's one of the greatest communicators in the game of basketball, trash talkers. There's so many things that Draymond Green does well in the basketball court. One is not shooting. But, again, he encapsulates winning basketball, and that's why he's in my top 10 and number 8 on my list. At 7, Evan Mobley enters his second season at age 21, and the sky's the limit. He gave you 15 points, 8 boards. If he didn't get hurt last year, I believe that he would have won the Rookie of the Year. He was definitely the leader at the moment that happened. I can see him being an all-defensive performer even this season. So, yeah, he was all-rookie last year. Almost gave you 2 blocks and 1 steal. He's versatile. He can guard guards. He can guard bigs. And he's a great weak side defender that affects a lot of shots around the rim. And I don't think he's even tapped in with his offensive game. He has a very great touch with both the right hand and left hand. He's got a quick first step, and he's got good shooting mechanics that I think will improve over time. At 6, Pascal Siakam has been a model of consistency over the past years, and he shoots nearly 50% from the field. He's won the most improved player once upon a time. He was a big piece of that NBA championship that Toronto won. He averaged 23 points, 8 boards, 5 dimes. He does a little bit of everything, and he's versatile defender. He's a big guy. He's a 2-time All-NBA and an All-Star. So shout out Pascal Siakam. Little argument you could probably make for him at 5, but I can't deny this man's talent. Zion Williamson, when he plays in his career, he averages 26.7 boards, 3 dimes. He was an all-star that one season that he was on the court a lot. And, yeah, you can make an argument for some of these players that have been playing, but I think game 1, when we see Zion on his back, we're like, okay, of course. He's just that damn freaking good. At 4, Karl Anthony Towns, he now plays the power forward position. He's the only guy that I had on two separate lists, but he's a power forward now because he'll be playing with Gobert, and he's obviously such a great shooter. He's one of probably the best shooting big men that we have in the game. He won a 3-point contest because he does that. Third team All NBA just last season, gave you 25 points, 10 boards, and 3.5 assists at 3. Anthony Davis, just the year prior, people were saying he's the number 2 player in the ESPN top 100 rankings after winning that NBA championship, and looked like he was carrying the Lakers in moments, hitting game winners in the playoffs. When he plays, he's one of the best defenders in the NBA, and offensively, there's nothing he can't do. I don't know what happened to his shot. It was just broke last year. He shot 18.6 from the 3-point line. I think he was in the lab all summer, and I think he comes back strong. He's still only 29 years old, so I see Anthony Davis is in line for a great season. He's a 8-time All-Star, 4-time All-NBA, 4-time All-Defense, and he's a 3-time block champ. So shout out Anthony Davis. He's my number 3 power forward in the NBA. At 2, Kevin Durant. Some people think of him as a small forward, but he does most of his time at that power forward position. He doesn't get enough credit for what he does on the defensive end. I think he kind of peaked over there for the Warriors defensively with that scheme and his length. But KD still gets buckets with the best of them. He gave you 30 points a game, 7 boards, 6 dimes. His playmaking is underrated. He's always a very high efficient shooter. He almost went 50, 40, 90. He almost gave you a block and a steal. And look at this resume: 10-time All-Star, or 12-time All-Star rather, 10-time All-NBA, 4-time scoring champ. And I can see that him getting another one this year. At 1, the best player in the NBA, it's Giannis Antetokounmpo. There's nothing he can't do, and he just keeps getting better with his playmaking, his ability on defense. I mean, 1-time Defensive Player of the Year, 2-time MVP, Finals MVP, ends the Finals with the 50-piece. If Chris Middleton doesn't get hurt last year, a lot of people believe they go back-to-back. He's so humble. With his background, you just have nothing but respect for this man. 30 points a game, 12 boards, 6 assists. It's almost laughable. He doesn't get considered an MVP anymore because he's won it, I guess, in the past. But every year I look at him like he's in a top 3 candidate. And when it's all said and done, he shows up in the playoffs as well and almost put his team on the back playing that 7-game series with Boston. So to our best player in the NBA, Giannis Antetokounmpo, tell me I'm wrong. Tell me KD's unstoppable on offense, and that's why he's the best. Hey, he just went heads up with Jason Tatum and got swept. So I'm going with Giannis. You tell me I'm right. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I missed somebody in the top 10. Tell me Paolo should be in the top 10 without playing his first NBA game. You saw enough in his 2 games in the Summer League. We'd love to hear from you. And for Triple Play, we love to see you in the fantasy regular season. Me and Jacob, we drop a video every Saturday or Sunday right before the season to tell you who to pick up, who's hot, who you might drop, player of the week candidates. So just a little preview for the season. We're getting ready for it. We'll probably throw out some mock drafts because this is a fantasy podcast. But I didn't want to drop my top 10 of players because at the end of the day, I'm still a fan of basketball. So there you have it. I'm Coach James Lewis. And please feel free to hit a like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you next time.
Lately I've been feeling things change. We've been working hard, no sleep, get it every day. And I swear that we ain't stopping till we pay. Yeah, the pressure on, gotta make it work, Triple Play, yeah.